Hey everyone, welcome to 3 Minutes Fix. Today we'll explore the new features in the latest Dooo update and discuss a few customizations for the Android source. This video focuses on Android tutorials, as many find it challenging to use the latest Dooo Android source. Let's get started. This video is different from usual. I have a list of topics to cover, and I'll follow this order to ensure the guide meets your expectations. First, we'll update your Dooo panel to the latest version. This is straightforward. If you encounter issues during the update, I recommend updating your PHP version to 8.2. Often, while installing the panel, it forces a downgrade to 7.4, and we might forget to switch it back to the latest version. After this, press update. It may take a few seconds to a minute to complete. Next, we'll explore the major changes in this release. The first significant feature is Auto Stream. The developer has introduced a way to use the Vidsrc source in our app. This is a key feature of this update. You simply need to add the movies, and the Vidsrc API handles the rest, providing video playback in multiple qualities. However, there are some drawbacks. That is, the language of videos supports only in English, and there are no subtitles available. Next, we'll cover adding a logo. I'll show you how to create a logo and add it to your source code. Since it's been a while since I covered this method, it's a good idea to review it. For this, I use Canva. When creating a logo, keep in mind your app's name and search for an icon that matches your theme. Once you find one, you can modify it and download it as you like. I recommend downloading it in PNG format and saving the background separately, as it will come in handy later. Before we add the logo to the app, we need to upload it to the admin panel. I'll host the logo on GitHub, but you can choose any hosting service you prefer. Once added and saved link in your panel, it must display on the dashboard of your app. I'll demonstrate its effect once we build the APK successfully. With this, we will confirm our package name. You have to finalize your package name before adding it here. Once we added, press Save button. Next, we'll be adding movies. I think it's not have much changes in this release. Next on our to-do list is fixing basic Android Studio errors. I'll cover all the errors I've encountered while building the app. Sometimes the package folder may appear in a single line. To fix this, go to Tree Appearance and uncheck the Compact Middle Packages option. Then, you'll need to rename the folders one by one. As you do this, the first part of the folder might split into two halves. Simply repeat the rename process to merge the folder correctly. Once that's done, add the package name to Gradle. We will also cover the Firebase process. Be careful to add the exact package name to Firebase, as Firebase does not allow you to change the package name later. Additionally, note that there is a limit to the number of projects allowed on a free Firebase account. After renaming the package name, you might encounter errors in a few places, such as the in-app update file, the splash file, and in rare cases, the Android manifest file and the liquid page adapter. We'll fix these errors one by one. If you see an error indicating that it can't find Spinkit, let me know and I'll send you a version that includes Spinkit as a local library. Sometimes the build config file may not generate immediately. In that case, go to the Build menu and choose the Make Project button. This will trigger Android Studio to generate the build config file. This method usually works if you do it once. If it still doesn't work, in very rare cases, you might need to add a line to your project's gradle.project file. I've included the line in the video description, but you can also message me if you missed it. Finally, it worked correctly. So let's run the APK. My remote config file uses my Gospel App API, so let's update it to use our tutorial API instead and run the app. I recommend updating both the API and URL at the same time and then publishing the changes. This will ensure that both updates are applied to your app simultaneously. Our API is working well, but I need to add the movies as it's currently showing blank. Before I proceed with other modifications, I'll show you the changes I promised while I make a few adjustments in the panel. The first thing I'm honored to show is that our developer managed to integrate Vidsrc. Let's try to play a video and see how it works. It might take a moment. Yes, the Vidsrc source plays very well. The advantage is that it offers a multi-quality adaptive format, meaning the video won't buffer much. I'll test it with different servers and movies to see if we encounter any bugs. The second thing is that the developer has added YouTube API, which works perfectly. The advantage is that it's powered and maintained by the developer's server, so there's less chance of it failing. Next, we'll check by adding a YouTube source. After adding it, we'll test to see how it performs. As you can see, my video from YouTube works very well, and it also supports an adaptive format. I also managed to add Web Videocaster to the movie details page. Don't worry, I'll provide this file for free. However, out of respect for the developer's terms, I cannot post it publicly. I'll share it in my group, and you can also get it by sending me a direct message. For some reason, the link in Web Videocaster didn't play in the Exo-Player. However, I'm confident it will work when you cast it to a TV because it played very well in the web view. You can see there's one issue: the button color is different from what we saw in the preview. We'll change the color to white in the admin panel so it closely mimics the exact design of Netflix. It doesn't look exactly like Netflix because the Dooo app has more features, so the UI is slightly different. I'll show you a comparison version. As you can see, it's almost correct. The only difference is that the description text is very long. You can reduce it by adding the max lines attribute. I'll show you how to add the image logo we created to the app. It's very straightforward. Go to the drawable or res folder, right-click, choose New and select Image Asset. For the foreground image, I suggest adding the transparent logo, and for the background, we'll use the logo background we downloaded. Once done, press Finish. If the logo doesn't show up, repeat the process. After that, add the logo and background to your drawable folder. Remember to rename them to valid names. Now, go to the splash activity. Set the background to the image background and set the source for the image view to the transparent logo. Adjust the size to fill the screen as much as possible. Sometimes the Spinkit library might not work correctly. If that happens, just DM me and I'll send you a version where Spinkit is added as a local library. In the developer group, people were asking about the blank white screen issue. This degrades the app's user interface since most apps these days manage to customize it. Don't worry, I'll teach you how to fix it. You need to add the following lines to your theme folder. Remember to create a new style for both dark and light themes. Name it Splash and add these lines. I'm trying this live, so ignore if I run the app multiple times. I'll do my best to provide this code in the video description. Don't forget to add this new theme to your splash so it uses this particular theme instead of general one. It's not perfect, but at least it's not flashing in the user's eyes if they use your app at night. If I were the user, I'd probably just uninstall the app and give it a 1-star rating immediately. Next, we'll cover how to create a signed APK. I've talked about this before, but a user pointed out that the Keystore file is stored as plain text. If someone gets access to the file, they could easily use the Keystore without any trouble. So, I came up with the idea to use Keystore data in your project.gradle file. I'll show you how once we get to that part. While creating the Release APK, Google thankfully alerted me that one of my dependencies is outdated. The developers want all users to update to the latest version to overcome certain defects. So we're going to immediately update this dependency and recreate the APK. Hopefully this time it won't cause any issues during the build. Stack Overflow suggested a version, so when I updated to it, my APK started building successfully. Let's feed our data to ChatGPT so it can generate the code we need to add securely to our project.properties folder. What I added is a temporary Keystore password, which I'll send to ChatGPT. I recommend not sharing your actual password with this or any other platform. Once the code is generated, add it to your Gradle.properties file and update it with your actual password and key values. Then, add the callback reference to your build.gradle file. After both steps are completed, press the sync button. This will ensure your app's Keystore is secure and encrypted. The last step is to add the release variant, input your data, and build the APK. Before running the Release APK, I suggest uninstalling the Debug APK. Since the Debug APK conflicts with the Release APK, trying to install the release build can cause issues. To avoid this conflict, please remove the old APK and install the new app manually. We'll add one more thing. Instead of labeling the APK as just release, it would be better to have the correct APK name. For example, use your app's name followed by release as the label. We cannot do it all times, so we will add Gradle to do it for us. so our APK built correctly. The remaining tasks are customizing the movie details page and the player page. Since the video length is now around 30 minutes, I'll skip these parts and just mention that everything is working fine. I expect to share the file in about 2 days. Finally, I'll show you how to add a Telegram icon. I'll use my group invite link, so when users press the icon, it will take them to my group. Let's get started. We'll start by adding a floating action button. We'll use the Telegram icon downloaded from the website and add the code I generated from ChatGPT. Once we've added everything, we'll build the APK. It works perfectly. I'll share this code in the video description. I've tried my best to cover all the important points in this new release. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.